In a crowded city, where dreams were crushed under the weight of struggle, lived a young man named Kabir. He wasn't born rich. He wasn't born talented. But he was born with something far more powerful: unbreakable perseverance. Kabir worked as a stonecutter in a quarry. His job? To break massive rocks under the scorching sun. His hands were covered in blisters, his clothes soaked in sweat, but his dreams were as strong as the stones he broke. One day, a wealthy businessman arrived in a luxury car, watching Kabir work. He smirked and said, "You'll be breaking rocks forever, boy. People like you don't change their fate." Kabir said nothing. But deep inside, he made a promise to himself: one day, I won't just break rocks. I will break all limits. Every day, Kabir watched the stones he struck. He hit them hundreds of times, but they never broke. He was frustrated. Why does nothing change, he thought. One day, an old man saw Kabir struggling. He smiled and said, "Have patience, young man. The stone doesn't break on the first hit. It breaks on the 1000th hit. But every single strike before that matters." That night, Kabir couldn't sleep. 1000 strikes? He realized success works the same way. You fail, you struggle, but if you keep going, one day, everything will change. The next morning, Kabir arrived at the quarry with a fire in his heart. He worked harder than ever. But then, disaster struck. A rock slipped and crushed his foot. Pain shot through his body. He couldn't work anymore. The owner of the quarry sighed, "You're useless now. Find another job." Kabir's dream was shattered. He couldn't even walk properly. How could he ever succeed? But then, he remembered the old man's words: the stone doesn't break on the first hit. It breaks on the 1000th. His body was weak, but his mind was stronger than ever. He refused to stop. He used his savings to buy books on business, leadership, and growth. Months passed. He learned everything he could about construction, stone cutting, and business management. And then, he started his own stone supply business. He used his knowledge, convinced local builders, and supplied quality materials. He was no longer a laborer, he was an entrepreneur. Years passed. His company grew. One day, he got a call for a big order. The client? The same rich businessman who once mocked him. When they met, the businessman stared at him in shock. "You? The stonecutter?" Kabir simply smiled and said, "No. I'm the one who supplies the stones now." Today, Kabir owns multiple businesses, provides jobs to hundreds of workers, and inspires thousands. But he never forgot his first lesson: the power of the 1000th strike. So remember, success doesn't come from luck. It comes from persistence. The next time life knocks you down, don't give up. Because your 1000th strike might be just one step away. Moral of the story: every failure, every struggle, every hardship is just another strike on the stone. Keep striking, because one day, it will break. If this story inspired you, drop a comment. I will never give up.